Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 9. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie. Put your feet up, listen to us talk about games.
It's a little creepy.
Oh no, that wasn't my intention.
Okay.
It just kind of naturally came out like that.
It's just how you are.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been playing some games.
Yeah.
Well, you've been playing a little bit of something.
I've been punishing myself this last week.
Explain.
A little boy came over last weekend, played some Lego Harry Potter. I was looking at the achievements thinking, you know what? I can get these. I can clear this game. I can get the full 1000 gamer score. So I've been playing it, not for any enjoyment, not because...
Oh, of course not. There's no enjoyment to be had, mate.
No, but just for the sheer fact of getting the achievements.
Okay.
I've been doing quite well. I've only got a few more to get.
Okay.
But I'm not sure whether to be proud or not. No.
I wouldn't be.
No,
definitely not. Okay, so you've been playing more Lego Harry Potter. We haven't mentioned it on the show numerous times, but how, other than you sort of explained how you're finding it, but how are you finding it this time around?
Not too bad, actually.
Really? You enjoying it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the best Lego game.
Okay, it is. Well, that's
Apart from Lego Batman.
Well, no, we don't need to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
We're done with that.
All right.
So, as we mentioned last week on the show, Gears of War 2 had its 20 times XP weekend.
Yeah.
Which started Thursday of last week and went through till Sunday. I started playing Thursday night.
Yeah.
Within about an hour of the event starting.
Yeah, I didn't get in as much time as I wanted to.
No, well, even I didn't really, but I played through the first night, played through Horde waves 1 to 50 in less than 2 hours, and that's a record for me.
That's awesome.
Got a team together, did a social Horde match. It was awesome. And that 20 times XP is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you level up very quickly. And
yeah.
So I went from like level, I don't know, I think it was at level 9 or something silly, like that, something really low, till about almost level 30 through one playthrough of Horde. To be honest, so.
I mean, I played for about half an hour with you, didn't I?
Yeah,
I went from something like level 4 to level 15, 16 or something stupid
it's
like
very
that.
quick to level up when you're getting 20 times XP. So that was pretty awesome. I actually, I've never seen so many people on my friends list playing Gears 2.
No.
It's insane. So that was good to kind of...
They also changed it up a bit, didn't they? Yeah,
they changed the Horde mode a little bit, and it was more geared towards some of the bigger beasts.
Which give them more XP anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
Instead of it being like little wretches and tickers and, things like that, it was more boomers and things like that and butchers.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And every 10th wave, you got a shitload of blood mounts, which...
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I played a fuckload of Gears this weekend.
Yeah.
The day or two before that, I had actually got my Medal of Honor beta key working. I got a new beta key because I complained. And that's what happens, complain.
Yeah.
So I got a new beta key, downloaded it, started playing it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of bugs in the Medal of Honor beta, and
I noticed probably more so than in the PS3 version.
Yeah, I think there's certain issues that were when we played it on the PS3 that aren't present here, but for every one bug that we picked out of the PS3, there's like 5 for the 360 version.
Especially a lot of texture issues.
I just think overall, I mean, the PS3 version to me looked nicer.
Yeah.
The 360 version looks a little rough around the edges to me, but that's just my opinion. It was alright. It's kind of fun to play, but I mean, it's no Call of Duty, and I've said this all along. There's a lot of work to be put in, I think, between now and October, which is when it comes out.
Which isn't very long.
Which isn't very long, and I don't know. I mean, like, it is glitchy, and it is. I think the hit detection's all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think there's some serious ironing out to do. A lot of bugs to just sort out in the game, but hopefully the beta testing's going on for quite a while now. So and it's extended as well. So that hopefully will give DICE enough time to kind of, because it is a solid development team working solely on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So really, this should be fucking smoking hot.
Yeah.
But it just falls a bit flat on its face. If you're used to playing Call of Duty, in my opinion, that is a far superior multiplayer. But
there you go.
So I've been playing a bit of the beta. It's all right. I've wanted to play a lot more of it, but I find that it's the bugs are just just too much for me to really play through. Sometimes I'll play a few matches and it'll be fine, and then all of a sudden,
I think you're saying there's a lot of inconsistencies with like how fast the servers are and with like lag and rubber banding.
Occasionally, like literally, there's been games where it's been perfectly smooth, nothing at all wrong with it, and then there's times when you get so much lag, it is unplayable, literally unplayable. Your character just moves around on its own for no fucking reason. You fall through the floor. I had that happen the other day. I've had all sorts of things happen.
Which, if it was actually part of the game, falling through floorboards, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's not really though.
No.
It's just buggy to fuck, to be honest.
Clipping.
And so really, like, there is a lot of work to do there. Hopefully they'll... I mean, I don't know whether they're going to patch this, whether this is literally just, whether they'll work on the code separately and not update this. I don't know what they're going to do, but it would be kind of cool for them to see a patch for this and get it running smoothly, or at least on the last week of the beta, so that people can really properly enjoy it. But other than that, it's been okay. I mean, it is lacking a little bit, but other than that, it's all right. The only other thing I've been playing, because I've been sort of wondering what to play next, after finishing Bioshock 2 and Alan Wake last week.
Yeah.
And obviously going back to the games I haven't got around to playing yet, I put Dante's Inferno back in, because I did play a bit of it, and then I put it down, and then I haven't picked it up since.
Okay.
And so I thought, I'm gonna play through this, and it's all right. It's not amazing. It's been out for a while, so people probably know. Anyone who cares enough about it's probably found out about it, played it, or whatever, read reviews. But it's all right. Lots of tit in it.
Yeah, but it's animated tit.
Well, anyway, right? It's okay. It's totally fucked up, but
it's sort of in the same
part of the appeal, I guess.
Yes, in the same vein as like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, God of War, sort of
hack and slash kind of.
Yeah,
very sort of almost button mashy at times.
Yeah.
So I'm playing through that. I'm about a couple of hours into it. I've hit a puzzle that I can't quite figure out.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get there. Give me another 20 minutes. I'll probably figure it out. But so yeah, I'll probably play through that. I'll probably finish next week with fingers crossed. But who knows what I'll play next? But that's all I've been playing this week.
Yeah, I've got a list of games that I want to play next.
But
I have to get through Harry Potter. I won't stop playing that until I've got it all.
But with playing Gears 2 this weekend, I've actually unlocked a lot more achievements.
Yeah,
and I've actually gone after quite a few as well.
That's
so
cool.
My gamer score on that's jumped up a hell of a lot.
I did notice.
Yeah. So I'm quite chuffed with that.
Because I was sort of a couple of thousand away from you now. I think I'm back down to about 4,000 behind you again.
Yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much covers our first section. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll be talking about the latest news. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about the latest news now. Bit of a weird week. Comicon was on.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happened, but not all of it game related.
Not too much game related. A lot of comics and movies, which I loved, to be quite honest.
There was some gaming stuff. I know we just talked about the Gears of War 2 event, which pretty much was happening because they were at Comicon. They showed some Gears of War 3 stuff off, blah, 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 blah. We're never really going to talk about that. There was some game appearances. We're going to mention a few bits and pieces, but we can't really let the news section go this week without mentioning the fact that StarCraft 2 was released.
Yeah, we mentioned it last week,
but we're going to mention the fact that the whole world's gone
completely crazy,
effing mental. And
I'm pretty sure if you've switched on your computer and gone on the internet, you'll have seen something.
Yeah, there'll be a banner or a little something, and
everywhere,
it's plastered everywhere. And I think the rough estimate of the sales for the first 24 hours were between 5 and 6 million copies.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Seriously, because the first one was huge, and there were people playing it right the way up still to today. Obviously, they're probably playing it less now that the second one's out. But
I imagine. So that's been a long time coming, but it's
I've seen some movies, seen some screenshots. It looks really nice. It's one of those games that, if my computer was good enough, I would probably get it.
Yeah.
But it's not, so I won't.
Fair enough.
I do feel for that poor little Singapore guy who was standing in queue for it for 24 hours, and when they finally opened the gate for him to pick up the first copy out of the store, he burst into tears.
I probably would too. 24 hours. He should have stayed at home.
I know, but it's like huge in Korea and all around that sort of area.
Oh,
so
fair enough. So that's good news for StarCraft 2 fans, or StarCraft fans in general. Another game. A game was announced during Comicon.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm going to say right now.
Yeah,
you're kind of
screwing my face.
Yeah,
I just can't get my head around it.
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
right. Takes
all good.
Yeah, Tekken. Right. It's all right.
Tekken is.
Yeah. What happens if you merge the two together? What would that do for you?
It would make no sense.
Okay, so therefore you're saying Street Fighter X Tekken is not really a good idea?
I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, I heard this news, I think, Sunday. I think I read this about this. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. I gave it about 2 minutes of thinking, what the hell is that going to be like? And then kind of forgot about it, to be honest. This doesn't bother me so much. This is something I may play or I may not. I don't know.
See,
I like Street Fighter 4. I played a bit of Street Fighter 4. I want to pick it up and play it again, but
I want to pick it up off you and play it.
Yeah, fair dues. Tekken, I was never really fussed about. It was because it was pretty much PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean the last one was released on 360, but it didn't do too well. Maybe that's why this has happened. It's kind of like a reboot. Maybe. You see, the thing is, I've played both of them.
Yeah.
Bit of a Tekken fan. Bit of Street Fighter fan, but they're just two completely different styles.
Yeah.
I mean, Street Fighter is all 2D. It's all about speed and combos and everything. And yeah, Tekken does have the combos, but it's 3D. It's a lot sort of slower, a lot more tactical. So Street Fighter wouldn't work in a Tekken environment.
It does feel like a very strange mesh, even though they're both fighting games.
It basically, from what we've seen of this Street Fighter X Tekken, whether it's pronounced X or Cross or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. But it's just another Street Fighter game, but with Tekken characters.
This could easily be in DLC.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I agreed when I saw the gameplay footage online. It looks exactly like Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
but it is literally just more characters.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really it.
You know, I still think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is going to be the better game because.
I'm sure it will.
Have you seen stuff on that?
I've seen a few bits and pieces.
You remember the trailers for Street Fighter 4? They're all that like shadow and ink splash.
Yeah.
They've done like the whole sort of art style, sort of cel shaded comic book, but with that sort of twist to it with it, and it looks really nice.
Excellent. Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff about that
so
as well.
We'll talk about this maybe when it comes out. I don't know.
Just the sheer novelty value of it.
It is a little odd, but once I think we've got over it and got heads around it.
I think Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe made more sense.
Maybe, only just. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange little combination, but you know, who knows? This could be amazing.
Could be. It could just be another Street Fighter.
Yeah. Okay. So PlayStation Move is something we've talked about. More motion control bullshit we're going to talk about here. UK pricing's been released for it, which is good because it comes out quite soon.
Yeah.
In a matter of months. And there's going to be several different SKUs available.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to get, basically. There's a bundle which is pretty much just the wand and the PS3i camera, which is £50.
Ooh, yeah.
The wand itself is £35 on its own. The sub controller is £25, and the PS3i is £25 also. Yeah. So, basically speaking, this is going to cost you quite a bit.
Yeah,
I think that's quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean, £75 will get you the lot. I mean, I've already got the PlayStation Eye, so
you really need
two controllers for about £60.
But it's still £60. That's still quite a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially considering, talking about motion controllers, you get the Kinect. It's there for like 2 players straight away.
Yeah.
With this, you need like the wand, the sub controller. Some games, I think you need 2 wands.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some that I've seen, and then of course, if you've got other people coming around and they want to play as well, you're going to have to get enough controllers.
And it's more. Yeah. It sounds a bit messy, but Yeah. This pricing doesn't surprise me. It sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Sounds about the typical kind of sort of overpriced, but not sort of overpriced.
Overpriced, yeah.
It is. It is overpriced, blatantly.
Yeah.
But, that's just what we're used to over here. So
yeah. I probably will pick it up eventually because there are a few games that I'm interested in seeing, but
I
think Heavy Rain, pretty much it. But you see, it's going to be weird because I've played Heavy Rain with the controller. It would be weird sort of playing it with the Move and just like seeing how it compares and whether it is better or not. I think that's kind of like the main reason I want it, but I don't think that reason alone is good enough to spend all that money on it.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how this does. I mean, this isn't far off how much it costs for a Wii Remote and Nunchuck separately, sort of thing. So that's probably what they based a lot of the pricing off of. But it will be interesting to see how it does. It comes down... Things like this do come down to the support at the end of the day, I think. What games are going to support this and what games are going to support this from day one. And because obviously they want to charge this amount of money for these peripherals. And if they want to make the money from it, if they want to get as many sales at this price, they're going to have to release as much software compatible with it from day one.
I mean,
I think the good thing they have done about it is they've made sure that a couple of the main big releases are compatible with it. That's a smart move.
Like Heavy Rain, like Resident Evil 5 Gold edition. That was, you and me, we might not have been too fussed with it, but there are loads of people who bought it and loads of people who love Resident Evil 5. And
it was an alright game. It wasn't. I don't think it was. Yeah. I don't think motion control is going to make it any better.
No, but they'll get it just to like see it and play it because a lot of people played Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
Yeah.
And they were saying, "Oh yeah, that's the best version of it because of the controls and everything." And this is basically will be exactly the same as that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I try and do, I guess. So it's interesting, I mean, we'll see how things do. I mean, there's a lot. I say Kinect's coming out like November. Isn't this slated for like September?
Something like that, yeah. It's not far away.
Yeah, so not long. It'll be interesting to see how they do against each other. I can probably see Move doing a little better, maybe.
Yeah.
Than Kinect.
I mean, it's going to have a head start, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I still think overall Kinect's probably a better product. It is just extremely overpriced.
Yeah.
But, like you did mention, when you consider that your one and your sub-controller together is £60, yeah? And if you had two people playing it, that's £120. That ain't far off what Kinect is for two people to play. So there's not really much of a difference in price.
No, and the Kinect, as well as like... Well, having said that, there's not a lot of titles out at the moment that will be compatible with the Kinect, but it will have like its own range of titles.
It's got its own range. It's a separate thing, really.
But yeah, and you can also use it as like the user interface, so it's like a software tool as well.
I don't think many people agree that that's worth...
No, it's not worth it, but it's something that adds a little bit to the usability. So
it's another incentive to pick it up. I will be getting one because, like, obviously I've got two 360s in the house. It's very geared towards family and casual, and
you have a family of casual gamers.
Yeah, so there you go. So we'll be getting one. But obviously I haven't got a PS3. If I did have a PS3, I probably would pick up Move, but
I will pick it up.
I think it's something to wait for.
Yeah, I will pick it up eventually, but I don't think I've got a good enough reason to get it yet. I think I might wait for some more of the titles to come out.
I agree. Okay.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That's good.
That really kind of enforces my decision.
Yeah, well, there you go. So Infamous 2, there's a bit of an uproar. I'll let you explain this.
Basically, Infamous, alright game, did fairly well. Lots of people liked it. Open world, sort of superhero. PS3 exclusive and all that. Now it's Infamous 2, everybody's like, yeah. Set in a new city.
That's 3 years.
Yeah. New game, set in a new city, big reveal. It's like, what's happened to the main character? Different voice, looks different. So just because he's moved to a new city, he's become a completely different person. A lot of people didn't like it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are fairly vocal about not liking it, to the point now where the developers have gone, okay, if you don't like it so much, we'll redesign him and try and take him back to how he used to look. One of my pet peeves is if you get like sequels and everything with like the same characters and they like recast them and everything. I suppose this is very much the same. It's like bringing in somebody else to fill in a role. Yeah, and with computer games you shouldn't need to do that because there's no
There's really no need to.
There's no need to.
Well, it's good that the fans care that much. I guess it's a good thing. It's good that developers care. They like making money,
I think,
they? Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of developers now are seeing that want to give the people what they want, and they do listen to a lot of feedback, a hell of a lot more than they used to.
Yeah, they are. Well, yeah, developers seem a lot more community orientated these
days.
Yeah,
I think it's part of the whole sort of social networking big thing. People have more say
because it's a lot easier to tell somebody something shit nowadays.
Yeah,
to get that message across.
Yeah,
via the interwebs.
So, but no, I like this story simply because it is a matter of the revolution.
The game is getting their own way, getting what they want.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. That's all we really need to talk about. That. Let's not go too deep. No. That's pretty much the story there. You've got a DS.
Yeah.
Right. Are you aware of the R4 cartridges?
I am. Yeah. I don't have one myself. I'm a good boy.
Okay. Well, if anyone doesn't know, these are the cartridges that basically you can pirate games and for your DS. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like to go and buy games. They are, games can be quite pricey. So Nintendo obviously don't like people not buying games.
No,
it looks bad on them. So they've basically taken it upon themselves to create a lawsuit against the people who are creating these cartridges, and they've won a court battle in the UK, and these cartridges are now banned here in the UK. So anyone caught doing them's basically breaking the law. I think a lot of people probably get this through like eBay and places like that, or online stores. So basically everybody's had to stop selling them and things like that. And there's also several court battles and things going on in Japan. They're trying to get it banned there as well.
Yeah, I wasn't that fussed before, but now it's illegal. I kind of want one.
Fair dues. So I guess bad news for anyone who's pirating DS games, but if you're already pirating them, you already have the cartridge. I guess it doesn't really.
No.
Just that don't brag you got one. I mean, plenty of people have already got them, so it's not something they can really like stop. But if you're caught with one, I suppose you can have it confiscated or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, from Nintendo's point of view, I mean, I do understand. I mean, it is stealing.
Well, they've seen a 50% drop in sales in Europe due to this problem.
Yeah, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's
of money.
enough for them to take enough notice to go, holy shit, where's the lawyers? Phone up the lawyers,
Yeah, and that I can understand.
So, yeah, well, I mean, there's still places around the world you can get them, but I mean, I'm sure people try and import them still and things like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure some places still try and sell them. But yeah, they are basically illegal now. So if you're thinking about it, stop thinking about it, because you could easily get caught doing this.
This was a public service announcement.
So here's something that we know you're interested in it. You've mentioned it a few times on the show.
I've tried not to mention it as much as I want to.
You've mentioned it last week, in fact. There was a 6-minute trailer for DC Universe Online released, because obviously Comicon was going on last week. Your thoughts? I haven't really got much of an opinion about this. It's a trailer. It looks good, but it ain't the game. It ain't gameplay. It ain't.
No,
it's nothing really. It's just a trailer.
No, but that's fair enough. And compared to the actual game, I suppose it doesn't really have a lot to do with it. I mean, it kind of shows you the story, which I think is something novel for MMOs, because I think I said to you earlier, a lot of MMOs, they sort of say, right, this is happening, there you are, get on with it.
Yeah.
Whereas this seems to have like a very definite story, a reason, like a proper game. Proper game. None of this MMO nonsense. It's a proper game.
Okay.
But that's it. I got my first Batman comic when I was about 6 years old. I've been reading DC since then, so 20 odd years been a fan. This trailer is basically...
So you're a little bit excited.
Yeah, this trailer is nerd porn to the highest degree.
Yeah.
I loved it. I could watch it. If it was like a whole movie, I would watch it. But no, I'm just like really, really excited for the game. But the hype building up for it now is crazy. I mean, the developers have now had to they don't have official forums. They have the Facebook pages, and there's like a site where it's like an unofficial site and whatever, but the developers have now had to like post messages on there saying, look, please don't spam our inboxes, please don't ask us for beta codes or whatever, because it ain't going to happen. People are really, really, really desperate to get on there. But
yeah, I can see that this is obviously going to do quite well, and yeah, I don't know what to talk about this really, because like this is more your kind of game.
Yeah,
it's not really much my kind of game.
Yeah.
So,
but I personally hope it will be a success.
It is going to be successful based off of what you've just said. I think really the fact that there's enough people to piss off the developers of this game to the point where they are saying please stop.
Yeah,
that does. There's a bit of demand for this game, I imagine.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Plenty of other James Craigies out there who want to get
loads.
their hands on this. So, and hopefully we'll get some beta codes, or at least a beta code.
Well, I've been reading a bit about it, and there's quite a high demand for it.
Yeah.
And even if we do get it, I'm pretty sure we'll not be allowed to talk about it very much. But we'll without giving away any content or anything. If we do get in, I'll give my impression of it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So,
so the only other thing I was going to mention quickly was several weeks ago we talked about the Kane Lynch 2 exclusive demo.
Yep.
It's no longer exclusive.
No.
You can download it, Xbox Live, PSN. Go download it, play it, see what you think. Play some of the multiplayer that's included, which is kind of pretty cool for a demo. And if you want, you can email us your thoughts.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, we've played it already, so I'm probably not going to download it. But it'd be interesting now that everybody else is there to see what they think, whether they agree with us or not.
This game comes out in a couple of weeks, maybe just over a couple of weeks now, 2-3 weeks. So it is slow. It's weird because it's probably the biggest, besides like StarCraft 2 and things like that, the biggest multi-platform release to come out in months, really.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that's come out that, because obviously we're in that point of the year where there's not much. This is probably one of the first big games.
Yeah.
Before like the major holiday releases.
It has got that stigma on it because the first one didn't do that well.
No,
so
it wasn't that great. But this one is definitely way more controllable.
Yeah.
I will be picking it up and I will be playing it and I will be talking about it on the show. So
Excellent.
There is going to be more Kane Lynch 2 talk. And I mean, that pretty much concludes our news.
Yeah.
Once again, another quick break. Gonna down a beer. No, I'm joking.
He's already downed it.
Yeah, okay. And then we're going to come back and talk about some new releases, and we've got another topic for this week to talk about.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're now going to talk about some of the new releases for this week. It ain't going to take long.
Let's scrape this barrel.
Let's do this. Slow part of the year. We've mentioned it last 3 weeks running at least. All that's really coming out. This is a multi-platform release. It comes out on 360, PS3, Wii, PSP and DS. Battle versus Chess.
Hey, it's a chess game. This is how desperate we are for new releases. We're resorting to saying,
so that comes coming. The chess game. This chess game's coming out. It looks alright graphically. It's
got boobies in it.
Yeah, chess and boobies. Battle versus Chest.
Yeah.
Should it be called? So that's coming out. If you're into chess and you like boobs, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Get it. Why not? It's out on every bloody platform you can possibly think of.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't say PC here, so
it's kind of like it's a fantasy thing. You get like all the fancy figure chess pieces, and they all animate and they all destroy each other and everything. And I think if I could get it for free, I probably would get it because I like me a bit of chess occasionally. But
chess or chest?
Chest, both.
Okay, good.
They're not mutually exclusive.
And the only other release worth noting is that Lego Harry Potter Years 1 to 4 is coming out for the PSP. Slight delay on that one.
Yeah, it was out getting snacks.
So that covers it really, and just goes to show that there really isn't much coming out at all. Let's be honest. Chess and Lego Harry Potter, a game that's already been out on pretty much every other platform.
Yeah,
is coming to the PSP. So exciting times.
Yeah.
be cool when Kane Lynch comes out.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. But because of this, we have recently added a new segment to the show. We launched it last week. A little natter. And last week we talked about gaming sequels. We had a little discussion about it.
Yeah.
I think I may have overlooked something here, because I think I could have mentioned Modern Warfare 2.
Obviously.
It's debatable, though, whether it's a better
Oh, well,
game
you can go back
but
and put it in last week's show.
No, it's all right. But this week, brand new topic. You thought this up.
I know.
Kudos to you. Basically, this week's topic is, what are the first games or consoles that we ever played on? As in, personally, you and me. And what games have shaped our taste as gamers? I can't even talk. So, do you want to start?
Here I am.
I can see you.
Very young.
Oh.
Primary school.
Got you.
Go around a mate's house.
Yep.
Just got a Sega Mega Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Played it. Wow.
Okay, well, I'll agree with that, actually, except I was only had the Mega Drive, I had Sonic the Hedgehog, and it did amaze me, and it was probably the turning point for me, as far when games became so amazingly shit hot that I think I just felt like I want to play these games for the rest of my life. But leading up to that, I was going to go back further to when I was younger. At one point we had an Atari.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which one we had. I was looking up on the internet earlier trying to figure out which one we had, and I couldn't remember. We had a shitty Atari.
There are so many of them.
I know. And what we did have that stood out, and please feel free to go on YouTube and look this up because it is fucking hilarious. Didn't have a Commodore 64. We had a Commodore VIC-20, right? Now, shitty name for a console. But go ahead on YouTube, look it up. This thing is a beast. It is literally just a keyboard. You can plug cartridges into the back of it. It also does tapes.
Oh, tapes.
So it had its own separate tape machine. There's so many add-ons and things you could plug in. You could buy a printer for it. It would print stuff. And it didn't sell that great, but you could buy a modem for it as well. And this came out in the early 80s. It's like 82 or something this came out. I wasn't alive in 82, but we had one anyway.
Yeah, I can discuss this, but carry on.
Yeah. So I remember playing a lot on that, and just even though the games really sucked, like you look at it now, you look at the games that came out for it, a lot of them were total dog shit. But like at the time, it was amazing because there's nothing else to play like it.
Yeah.
And there were some fairly popular games that were remade for it, like Donkey Kong came out on it.
Hey.
Dig Dug came out on it. Pac-Man came out. It doesn't look as good as the original Pac-Man.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so you can see what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, some games looked. A Qbert came out for it. That's the funniest one. Try and look for Qbert, like video footage of Qbert for the Commodore VIC-20. It's such a lackluster port. It's unbelievable. Right, you need to check that shit out. I think I even played that on the Atari actually, which it worked even better. It worked better on the Atari than it did on this Commodore. But yeah, the turning point for me was definitely getting the Mega Drive, playing Sonic. That's when games just became way more alive for me.
Yeah.
And then had a Mega Drive for such a long time, bought quite a few games for it, and it's just every time you bought, like every year or so, there'd be one game you think, oh man, you buy it, and it was just so much more amazing than anything you'd played before. And then I think I got Mega CD, which is the add-on. Didn't really add much apart from better sound.
And you didn't even get Sonic CD, did you?
No, I didn't.
That was like the best game on the Mega CD.
So we got that. I missed out the 32X, luckily. Then I got Saturn.
Yeah. Pretty much Sega.
Yeah, pretty much. Then I got Dreamcast.
Yeah, I can see the...
Skipped PlayStation altogether, pretty much. Skipped original Xbox, pretty much. Though I did know people that had these consoles, and I would play on PlayStations and Xboxes, but just not mine. Then I got 360, and then a PS3, and then a Wii.
And then you got rid of the PS3.
And then I got rid of the PS3. So, like, I mean, Yeah, I think the Mega Drive was really the turning point, and then I think by the time the Dreamcast came out, Sega were really fucking things up. I lost a lot of faith in their consoles, and
which is
I lost a bit of faith in games, to be honest. At the time, I was going to college, and I'd sort of put gaming to a side, and it wasn't until I bought a 360 that I really got back into gaming.
Yeah,
there was a few years there where I just wasn't bothered with it.
No, which is a shame, really, because the Dreamcast in itself was
it was an amazing console.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing console. Yeah, fantastic games.
Yeah, and
I still have it.
Yeah, there are lots of rumours now that they're like bringing out all the Dreamcast games. They're going to put them on like Xbox Live and PSN.
They should.
And everything.
They really should.
Yeah, totally.
They're fucking amazing. I'd buy them.
Yeah. But
again,
no. Anyway, you talking about your Commodore VIC-20?
Yeah.
Going through my dad's loft, a Sinclair Auric 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a tape deck.
Oh, awesome.
3D Maze, Breakout.
Yeah, these are the same sort of games that were on the Commodore, but I bet they probably work better on the Sinclair.
No.
No, I'm sure
it had like black screen.
All right.
And like you could type stuff, and if you spent a couple of minutes typing out a little code, you could change the colour.
Right, okay. Got you.
But no, that was kind of like a novelty thing for me. I spent like a whole weekend trying to get it running, trying to get it to run this one game, because it would listen to this tape for about an hour before anything would load up, because the tape deck I had was like really, really, really crap. And
oh my god.
I think it chewed it up a couple of times and I had to read it. But by the time I got it working, I was like, wow, this is shit. And I just kind of like threw it to one side.
Yeah. I think that, because obviously we'd sort of experienced that whole thing where, you know, games were on tape and the shitty load times. I mean, people complain about load times now, Jesus Christ. Load times, and then when it came to Mega Drive and it was I mean, I skipped Master System pretty much. Did play a bit of NES, but like when you had the Mega Drive and the cartridge was that big, and you know it was instant access to a game. Put it in, turn it on. There, it's right there.
See, this is the thing. It's like I missed out on NES and SNES and all that. But going back on it, there were so many good games on that, which I would still play. I'd get on like the Virtual Console for the Wii and everything, old SNES games and everything, which were amazing. But my first real experience was going around playing on my mate's Mega Drive. I then got a Game Gear. I didn't get a Mega Drive until quite late on.
Yeah.
But no, I had lots of fun with the Game Gear, which is basically, it was the same as the Master System, just handheld version. You used to be able to like a little converter. You could play Master System games in your Game Gear.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. And so I had that for a while. I've pretty much memorised Sonic, the Master System version. But I played that. Got the Mega Drive. Mega Drive I had for a long time. A long time after that. Yeah. And probably played it right up until like 32-bit.
Yeah, probably.
Days. Yeah, then I got the Sega Saturn. Didn't get a Dreamcast, but I got PS1.
Yeah.
This is kind of like when I jumped ship to Sony, really. PS1.
Smart move.
PS2. Then I got Xbox 360, then a PS3. Then a Wii.
Yeah.
So, not done too bad. I think this is like the first generation where I've had
everything.
All the consoles.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have.
And while it's still there, because I didn't usually buy consoles until they're quite near the end of their lifespan.
Yeah.
I remember. But no, it was all right. It was good.
Well, if you could pick a game though that you say would shape, would you say Sonic has shaped your taste at all?
No. Interesting one was that car boot sale. You know, you used to do like car boot sales. They used to have like all the Mega Drive games and everything. So there's one game called Shining Force 2.
Oh, okay, here we go. Got it.
No, bear with me.
Okay.
You know, guy, sword and cover. I thought, oh, look, all right. Sort of fairly cartoon, Japanesey graphics and everything. Put it in, and it was my first RPG.
All right.
And
I remember this.
Yeah. It's not a bad game. It's on the Ultimate Mega Drive collection. It's on there. It was really good. It's like proper strategy, tactical thing. You'd have like battles on it, which would last like 45 minutes or whatever. No, I was just kind of like got engrossed in the story and everything, and that kind of like ruined me for proper gaming, really. I kind of became an RPG whore after that.
Fair dues. I think
if you look, if you could, where you're sitting now, you can actually see my game collection. You count how many of those are RPGs. No, I know.
Yeah, I was just looking.
And that's all because of Shining Force 2.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much say that I have evidence.
I actually do remember you playing so much of that, and yeah, sounds about right. It does sound like the one game that I could literally, if I saw this, I'd be like, yeah, that's James's game sort of thing. Yeah, totally. For me, you are more the RPG guy. I'm sort of more of the shootery type guy. Yeah. And for me, I think games that kind of pushed me more towards those kind of playing that kind of thing was Doom.
Doom's a classic.
I never really had a PC, but I knew loads of people that did. I had friends who did.
Yeah.
And they'd have Doom and Doom 2, and Doom 2 came out, man. Fucking hell. But like, yeah, playing Doom is pretty fucking sweet.
I remember you playing, you had like Duke Nukem 3D on your Sega Saturn.
Yeah,
you used to love.
Yeah, played the shit out of that quite a few times. Played for it. Yeah, what else? I mean, I think
you've pretty much stuck with shooters since then, really.
For quite a while, yeah. I think really like, and the things that sort of that pushed it more into like, I would say current gen would have been things like Call of Duty, because I played the original Call of Duty on the PC, and I've played it on the Mac as well. I played Call of Duty 2 on the Mac and on the Xbox. And I played Call of Duty 3 and 4 and 5 and whatever number, you know. I mean, I've played pretty much all of the Call of Duties. And for me, that was the definitive World War II shooter. Yeah. And obviously, Call of Duty 4, bring it into the whole modern warfare thing. I totally embraced it, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I like what they're doing with things like Medal of Honor. They are trying to compete, which is always a good thing. Yeah. You know, but I think these games like that, the real standout first-person shooters that keep me interested in it, because there's so many first-person shooters, especially this generation, that I am losing. Occasionally, I do lose a little bit of interest in them. But then, like, a new Call of Duty will come out, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll play that. Yeah. So I always come back to Call of Duty. So you know.
Yeah, that's cool, because that's kind of like spawned your original sort of games like that. Sort of spawned this whole long line of games that you can stay into. Whereas for me, like Shining Force 2, there's not a lot of games like that anymore. I mean, I think the closest one in recent years was Valkyria Chronicles on the PS3. I say that's probably like the closest thing to it, and even that's just for like the battles, not the actual gameplay itself. Yeah. But no, they've just done so many things with RPGs. I mean, I from then I got like my first JRPGs and got them as the series progressed, and realised that they didn't really change. JRPGs now, although they try and be different, they're still pretty much the same as what they used to be. And then I got into like my Western RPGs, and you know how much I love like my old BioWare games and everything, and that's all because of Shining Force 2.
Oh, it's got a lot to answer for.
If I'd have carried on playing Mortal Kombat, I would have probably been beating my
that's another thing. Yeah, I mean, there are games that I still do like fighting games and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Those have, I've stayed with those kind of games. Maybe not so much Mortal Kombat, but like, you know, like I still love those kind of games. But I think overall, I'm more. If you looked at my game collection, like you were saying about RPGs, there's probably more shooters in there. Yeah. Than anything else. I love racing games too. The puzzle game. I like casual games. I like hardcore games.
Oh, casual games, I think, are amazing.
I like a bit of everything, but it's just, I think at the end of the day, if you have to really boil it down to one genre, I think it's shooters.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, and I think you would have to say that I am the RPG geek.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to end this show. Thank you for listening to us babble on about this topic. We'll have a new topic for next week. We'll think about that. Yeah, got a week. But thank you very much for listening to the show. Please feel free to email us. The email address is podcast@games4allpodcast.com. Please, about anything. I mean, email us just for feedback on the show. Email us just to say hello. Email us to give your opinions on any of the topics we've talked about, and we'll mention you on the show. Anything really, you know. Hell, even email us with your gamer tag, and we'll add you to our friends list and play some online stuff. Who knows, you know. Email us about absolutely anything you want. Please feel free to go on iTunes, leave us a review, comment, rate the podcast.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, do that.
Twitter.com/Games4all.
Yeah, there's Facebook as well.
Yeah.
If you go to our website, which is www.games4allpodcast.com, using the number 4, not the word 4, number 4, you can find links to just about everything on there.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook, everything. iTunes, the iTunes links in there.
And email address and everything.
And the email address is there as well. So thank you so much for listening. Hopefully we haven't been too boring this week.
I don't think so.
It's, you know, we are. I will say this. You know, come the end of the year, we're going to have so much more stuff to talk about.
We're going to be wishing it was this time of year again.
But it is. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, do you remember that?
I think the shows are going to get longer.
Yeah,
like the whole E3 thing.
Oh.
We'll be doing like 2-hour shows.
And we'll be like, oh, do you remember in summer where there were no games coming out and how quiet and easy it was? And we'll be like, yeah, those were the good old days.
No, but we really enjoyed doing the show, and we really want to thank every one of our listeners and our subscribers. Please get in contact with us. Just say hello, anything really, it'd be great. We'll mention you on the show.
Yeah.
And anything you can think that we could do to improve the show. Anything. Email us, please. Thank you very much for listening. And we shall be assaulting your ears again next week. Go on.
I think this show will be much better if we wore ponchos.
See you next week.